This is a video of Bill and Suzy's Kauai landscape. It's December 2020. This is what the landscape looks like in the wintertime. As you enter the front gate, the driveway proceeds towards the house. To the right of the drive is the guest house, kind of peeking through the hedges there. To the left of it, there's a planting of apple bananas and a pride of Burma tree. Continuing on down the driveway, there's a couple of islands on either side of pygmy date palms. To the left is a mixed hedge of various crotons, Song of India, Ape, Dracaena, Queen Emma's lily, various varieties of ginger, all in that hedge. And in the center of the driveway, the circular driveway, is a royal poinciana tree. If you continue to the left down the driveway, you'll go around behind the back of the house to the entrance to the garages. But going this way, you're headed towards the front door entrance to the house. On either side of the entry walkway, there's a mixed planting of shrubbery. There's a gardenia there and a plumeria, which doesn't look too good in the winter time. It loses a lot of its leaves, but the flowers are still quite nice. That's what the flower looks like. There's Mexican heather down low, ixora bushes. Behind that, if you can see it, is a variegated bougainvillea, more pygmy date palms. And on either side of the walkway are two large lipstick palms, sometimes called sealing wax palms. That is a New Zealand, what's the name of it? New Zealand flax, also known as phormium. And then you come down the walkway and there's the front door to the house. Just to the right is a rock wall where there's a dragon fruit plant growing up it. It's too young to have fruit yet, but it's cool how the cactus basically just climbs up the rocks and clings to them. This is a large bush here, which is a Malaysian rhododendron. It's been pruned pretty heavily recently, so it doesn't have a lot of flowers up on top, but you can see the flowers are very much like the azaleas that grow on the mainland. And then this path leads on to the front lanai. There's the sitting area with the fireplace. And there's a couple of large hibiscus plants growing in front of the lanai. And then the lanai looks out across the lawn. The mountains to the south are the Namahana peaks, a little bit shrouded in clouds today. And then to the west is Mamalahoa Mountain, and I think it's obscured completely by clouds, but right through that valley you can often see a peak at a portion of Wai'ialiali. And then coming across the lawn, there's two large orchid trees that are in full flower right now. Lots of different trees. See in the back there's some Fiji palms, which is kind of a dwarf type palm, or coconut palm. But they are producing coconut, or the left one is producing coconuts. And then some of our newer plantings coming up on a small durian tree, which I grew from seed. Maybe one day I'll have durian off of that. And then to the left of it, there's a mame sapote tree, also grown from seed, produces a big football-sized and shaped fruit, which is delicious. Oh, and the newest addition to the landscape is a little finger lime bush or small tree. Unlike other limes, it has very little tiny leaves and produces these quite unusual fruit. Then there's some big fern trees back in the back corner here, and under them, where it's fairly shaded, is some cacao trees, and even growing up the trunk of the tree is a vanilla vine. Only been there a couple of years, so they haven't produced flowers and beans yet, but soon, I hope. Back behind the fern trees is a mangosteen tree, which is one of the best tropical fruits, but they're very slow growing trees, so it might be 20 years before that tree produces fruit. Beside it is a breadfruit tree, or the Hawaiians call it the ulu. So we ate lots of ulu off this tree this year. This is a variety called mahafala, which is one of the more nutritious of the breadfruits. Here's a starfruit tree. It's not as loaded with fruit as it often is, but you can see one of the fruits right there. And in the very back of the yard is 4 trees. There's 2 lychee trees right there. And then to the left are 2 longan trees. Both produce a delicious fruit. The longan's got some wind damage this year, so they're just now recovering from that. In front of these trees is a grove of Cook Island pines. I grew that one from seed also. These larger ones obviously have been here much longer than I have. That's about 40 feet tall, I would say, maybe 50. Our newest addition here is a noni tree. It was being given away by the community garden this year, so just put that in. Beyond the Cook Island pine, there's a mango tree. We got a half dozen or so mangoes off of it that we ate this year. And here is a miracle berry. And you can see some of the little red berries on there. If you eat those before you eat something sour, they have the effect of taking away the sour taste, making anything that is sour taste sweet instead. This is a kaffir lime, the leaves of which are used in South Asian cooking to flavor dishes. This tree and its twin over there are kaimoto, also called star apple. Grew those from seed too. And back here are 2 custard apples, also known as soursop. There's another durian tree. And then some Hawaiian coconuts, which are the tall coconuts. We started them from a coconut about a year ago. And some more edibles up here. That's an allspice tree, which you can grind the berries to make ground allspice or use the leaves. Has pretty much the same flavoring. You just put one of the leaves into your dish. And then beyond it is a bay laurel tree, or fresh bay leaves. This is a angel trumpet bush, which has bird of paradise growing around it, and then in front of that is a patch of spearmint. It's a big torch ginger grove, and beside it is our big avocado tree, which kept us well fed with avocados this year. Produces in August through October. Beside that is a heliconia grove, and the heliconias are to a large extent being taken over by a lilikoi. You can see a lilikoi fruit laying there on the ground that has just fallen off. And we're now behind the house where the solar array is that provides much of the electricity that we use. And behind it is a row of papayas. This is a variety called Sunrise, which I grew from seed. Less than a year ago, these trees were started, and now they're just loaded with fruit. You can see a ripe one right there. And then beside that is the citrus grove, where we have an assortment of citrus trees, oranges, tangerines, lemons, just one lemon, limes, and a grapefruit tree. Beside them, I've got 3 raised beds where I'm growing vegetables. I have a big variety of vegetables going right now: tomatoes, cucumber, peppers, eggplants, beans, chard, kale, collard greens, arugula, okra, beets, various herbs. And then beside the raised beds, I just put in some asparagus, which I grew from seed. So it'll take a couple of years before these are big enough to be producing spears, but they're coming along nicely. In the very back of the yard is where I pile all the compost debris from this gardening. You can see the wild ape and bananas growing in there. So that's it. That's the tour of our place.